Hi, this is Juliet Easton, and this is day one of the video challenge for Love Yourself for Life. And today's topic is to think of a time when you discovered that you were stronger or braver or smarter or better in some way than you thought you were. And so there's some that are kind of like a little too personal, but I don't want to share. But I'm going to share something that happened recently, a few months ago, that fits well into this category. So my friend Todd Settlemar, a few months ago when I was doing a poem a day thing, sharing a poem every day. Most of them were ones I had written a long time ago. I had shared some that were more recent, and there were some days that I shared some I wrote that day. I was chatting with him on Facebook on a private message, and I said, "Oh, so should I share a poem or a song today?" And he's like, I haven't. If you've noticed, I haven't really been liking your poem a day things you've been sharing, because you're sharing a lot of stuff from when you were like 20 years old. And he called me out on that. Todd is a very real person, and he doesn't pull any punches. And sometimes that's what I need. Sometimes I need a swift kick in the booty, and that's what he gave me, and that's what I needed. And so he basically challenged me to push things to another level. I was like, well, I don't write poetry every day, just like kind of whenever it comes through me, or songs whenever they come through me. That's just the way it's always been. Well, just because something's always the way it's been doesn't mean that that's the way it needs to stay. So he encouraged me to actually start writing a poem every day. And he started by challenging me to write a poem in 3 minutes, and he would write one too, so we both did that. And he's actually been writing some poems since then that have been pretty awesome. He'd never written any poetry before, so it was sometimes when you challenge somebody else, you do something cool for yourself. So that was, I think, kind of a cool thing that came out of it for him. I don't know that if he hadn't challenged me, he ever would have gone to that place of writing poetry. So that's a pretty cool benefit for him. So it's a cool thing to challenge other people. Sometimes you get something awesome out of that for yourself. But it really pushed me. Him challenging that pushed me, and there were many days that it was really hard. I would sit down to write a poem, and I would have no idea. And sometimes I would write 5 poems and delete them all before I came up with something I liked. Some days, something just started coming to me, and I wrote it down and shared that early in the day. Sometimes I would sit down to write a poem with no idea in my head and just start doing some stream of consciousness stuff, and some stuff would come out. But there were some days it was really difficult, and it wasn't easy. And there were some days I cringed. I absolutely cringed with some of the poems I shared, because they were not up to my level of what I thought was good enough. I didn't think that they weren't perfect enough for me. Perfectionism is a really not so good thing. Your Own Worst Enemy is a book by Ken Christian that I'm reading now. I've gotten to the part where you have to actually do exercises, so I've still got some more work to do. That's why I'm kind of, the end of the book is taking a while, because there's actually work you have to do there. One of the hardest books I've ever read in my life, but it's really powerful. So I would definitely recommend that to anybody. So when you push yourself to new levels, it can make amazing changes in your life, and it's done that for me. And I did 200 days, not of writing a new poem, because I posted a lot of old ones, but I did many days of writing a poem every day. And like I said, some days I wanted to cringe with what I was sharing because I didn't think it was good enough. But then when I shared it, a lot of those poems were poems that other people really loved. And so, here's a question. What are you robbing the world of by not sharing it because you don't think it's good enough? I'm going to leave you with that thought.
You got a little